So I want to share a little bit, very briefly, about TATT, where we are and where we're going, and our role in the Upstate. Many of you have been engaged, but not all. Our organization's focus is on being a regional connector, working collaboratively across boundaries, across stakeholder groups, across communities to engage around economic vitality and quality of life. We are connecting people, we're collaborating, we're communicating, and we're focusing on building collective capacity across the Upstate. We have 5 driver areas. You've seen them behind me and you've seen them there, and we focus on issues around those areas. One of the things that we started measuring a number of years ago was our engagements. Things like today, things where we bring people together. And we are almost, this year, our numbers are 83 engagements so far this year with about 2,600 participants. But since 2010, we are almost to 700. We'll be at 700 in 8 years, so do the math, 80 to 90 a year. In 8 years with, by then, over 33,000 people who have been engaged in thinking regionally. And that's just physically being engaged. We have our Upstate website, the info hub that engages hundreds of thousands of page views a year through that. We do other newsletters and other things we'll talk about that engages people, but physically through actual attending and participating in things, we've been quite busy over the years. But as a connector, we know that we can't just focus on what we're doing. We need to understand and know what you all are doing. So many of you who are from other parts of the region know that myself and my team, we come and spend time with you all. We go to things in your communities because if you're going to be a good connector, you have to know what's going on, not just in one community, but across the entire region. So we spend time all over the 10 counties of the region. So far this year, we have done 118 events across the region that are put on by other folks, chambers or United Ways or other organizations, and we come and we absorb, we attend, we participate, so we can then bring those ideas back when we're working with others across the region and connecting people, because it's all about connecting and building our collective capacity. So the things we do, we build trust and foster discussions across the region, and many of you have attended our summits and the Peak Young Leaders. Many of you have attended our summits and the Peak Young Leaders event and other things that we do throughout the year. Also, in years, help plant seeds. TATT is not, for the most part, a doer organization. We are not the program organization. Many of you work or support those organizations that are the doer program organizations. We are the connector organization. We help build the capacity collectively for different organizations, and then we help seed ideas through our committees and task forces and things, and many of you have been part of some of the initiatives and things we've done where we have helped build those ideas and grow them to fruition. And if we were another program organization, I don't think we would have the level of success that we've had. We're about connecting and supporting you, things like the Elevate Upstate grants and other efforts where we can help plant that seed and let things grow and succeed. One thing that I wanted to mention that has been done through our committees, and this is a theme that's really been since I got here, and the milestone anniversaries are a good example of this. There is no place, when we said we want to find all the companies having anniversaries in the Upstate, it's not like we could go to Google and Google that and it came up with this list. I mean, we had to spend a lot of time developing this list, and we've had to do that around many things. We have 3 maps that now are on our website, asset maps, one around child well-being. Becky's been very engaged in that, creating an inventory of all the child well-being organizations across the Upstate region. We have another around senior issues, and then the third one that's been finalized is outdoor recreation across the Upstate, because people said, we have all these great recreation places, and you go to, 15 different websites to find them. but wouldn't it be great if you could find them all on one Google map and then you could find where you wanted to go? So we've created these, and one of our strategies moving forward is to create more. We're in the process of doing arts and culture. That will be unveiled on the 24th of January, an event we're having in Spartanburg. So, you know, helping understand what assets we have in our community is important, because if we don't know what we have, how do we know where our gaps are? How do we know what we don't have and what we need? If you look at these maps, especially the top right corner, I believe, is child well-being, and the bottom one is seniors. Well, there's a lot more well-being than there is for children, and there are senior services, but yet within the next decade, those population numbers will be equal. So we need to be talking about that as a community, as a region, and on and on. So having assets and understanding what we have in the region is one of the ways TATT at the Top can be supportive of building that collective capacity for the Upstate. So our board, we've spent a lot of time this year talking about getting to the next level, because we're 8 years old as an organization, we're maturing, and it's time. You know, we talk a lot about processes and show our engagements, and those are important, and the region, I believe, thinks more collectively than we did a decade ago, although it's still an ongoing effort. But there are major issues that are impacting our community today that we can't wait another 10 years or another 15 years to address. We have to be doing things today, not just talking. And that's not something just TATT at the Top can do, that's something everybody can do. Angie, I think, stated the case around transportation very well earlier. You know, the time has come. And so what we've talked about with TATT at the Top is as we move forward, we have to focus around things that are measurable, or impacts in our community around the issues, around transportation, mobility, connectivity, around the sprawling development, whatever it is, around how we are engaging our seniors and other things, but measurable impacts for our community. So as we move, we being TATT at the Top, move to our next level, it's going to include even more looking at indicators, measurables, you know, the areas that we're engaged with. We want to make sure that the needle is moving across our region. And it's not us necessarily moving the needle, it's all of you. It's all the organizations and folks who I know want to make this region a better place than it even is today. So our action plan for 2018, these are kind of the buckets, and there's examples or copies of the action plan on your table. It's on our website that gets into more of the specifics. But we're really focusing around transportation, mobility, and connectivity. That's the Connecting Our Future effort that was rolled out in October. It is an important effort for our region in a partnership of a lot of different folks. And I want to mention, because a couple of them are here and have been very supportive, we've gotten some great funding to help this. Tish McCutcheon is here with the Jolly Foundation. They have recently provided some funds to help with that. The Hollingsworth Funds, Duke Energy Foundation, Linda and some of the team is here, and many others. And what's another thing that's different about this effort is we have a lot of the stakeholders, the MPOs and local communities and others who are part of this. And in the past, typically we just invite them to participate because they're the program folks, but they don't generally invest and support the effort from a financial standpoint. And for Connecting Our Future, all of the partners, all the folks involved are also financially supporting the initiative. So, you know, we believe around transportation that we've got to do some things today. And so that effort, stay tuned over the next 6 months, because there's a lot of stuff that is going to happen. But the reality is that once we have a vision and strategies, that's when the real work happens. You know, the developing the plan, or it's not really a plan, the strategies and the vision is important, but that's the beginning, not the end. Then the other areas are regional workforce, and you know, many folks are involved with that, and we're partnering with a number of organizations around that area, sustainability and natural resources, entrepreneurial ecosystem. And we're kind of reworking that because we have these other committees around these different areas, and our task forces, at least at the higher level, have really not been where the engagement are. So we're getting away from having task forces that meet on a regular basis, and instead we're going to have a workshop, and our task forces, at least at the higher level, have really not been where the engagement's been. So we're getting away from having task forces that meet on a regular basis, and instead we're going to have a workshop around each of the 5 driver areas sometime in the next year, looking at a specific element of each of those 5 driver areas. Sustainable energy, for example, is one area that we'll have a half-day workshop and bring folks in to engage, and then we'll do something around child well-being and other pieces. So be on the lookout for that coming in the coming weeks and months. And then finally, we do host a number of large events over the course of the year. You have a calendar of events there that has what we have dates for already this year, this coming year, both some of our smaller activities and larger ones. But I want to make sure you have September 25th on your calendar, because that is our Upstate Regional Summit. This will be the 3rd one that we've had. We do it every other year. We've had between 800 and 900 people attend in the past at the TD Convention Center, and this year's theme is Win in the Future. And it's going to be another great event. It's really, we call it kind of the recharge event for the region, to remind all of us that we are a region and we need to be working together. And we're going to bring in, again, as we've done before, some national folks to be part of that event. So please be sure and put that on your calendar, and we hope you'll participate in some of our other activities as well. Because the reality is, as I said, we're at a tipping point as a region that I think a lot of organizations, not just ours, many of yours and many others, have done wonderful things, and we are really moving forward in a positive way. But we have to accelerate that. We have to keep moving even more, because the growth, the things that we don't want to be, are coming if we're not thoughtful in business and raise a family. If you are not engaged, I want to thank all of you for being here with us today, being part of this, for all you do for the Upstate, and for our organization, we have cards on the table to give away some money. Let us know what areas of interest you want to be part of, and we'd love to have you engaged. Because the reality is, it's when we work together that we can ensure that the Upstate remains a leading place to live, have been out there to do business. Who knows what? So it's time. I want to thank all of you for being here with us today, being part of this, for all you do for the Upstate, and now we get to give away some money.
If we're not going to have a loser today, and they need to raise their $2,000 to match, how about a fair amount of time between now and spring? Does that sound good? We've got the criteria down. Amen.
And one of our winners is the Main Street Food Project in Lawrence. It's so interesting to hear all these projects, because they're about fun and vibrancy, and that one certainly is. And what goes with food trucks? What do you see around food trucks? What's kind of buzzing around food trucks? Bees, 28 miles away in Greenwood. Let's give a round of applause for our winners.
What a day. So exciting. And I thought I might make one thing. I know we're trying to get everybody out here, but I did want to say, and one thing I neglected to say is that one of our board members, and actually our host today, RP Bauman, I hope RP's still here. Yep. He is still here. I want to acknowledge RP's recent accomplishment among the Hospitality Financial Technology Professionals Organization. RP just received the global most valued CIO in the hospitality business in Tokyo last week, and this is an awesome honor to be bestowed upon you, and I'm glad that you are part of our Upstate. I'm glad that you're part of the top, and congratulations to you. So let's get us on our way here today. If I can keep track of where I am here. Okay. Excuse me. We've had a lot going on today. So again, another excellent program. Phil, thank you so much for your engagement. Thank you so much for your support of community vibrancy, and thank you for an additional 5 years commitment to this effort. It's awesome. Thank you very much. I'd also like to congratulate all of our recipients, all of the winners. And so we hope that you'll be back again, and we look forward to seeing what's going on with these projects, and I hope to make my rounds as well. Also want to offer my personal congratulations to Becky and Carol as being recognized for their long-time selfless leadership here in the Upstate. And I also want to offer my congratulations to all of our anniversary companies and organizations. And that's why we are, as a region, are special. Finally, I'd like to thank our sponsors, again, Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina, Fluor, Piedmont Natural Gas, Greenville Health System, Blue Ridge Electric Cooperative, GSA Business Report, 94.5 The Answer, and all of our table sponsors. Again, thank you, RP, for your generous hospitality today. Thanks again to all of our board, our funding partners, for your continued commitment. And I can tell you that as this year ends, and as I am the outgoing chair, I will say that you are in extremely good hands with our incoming chair, Sue Snyder with Spartanburg Water. We've worked together for a long time, and I know that she will serve this organization well. So, without any other ado, again, I would like to thank all of you for being here today. And with that, we're adjourned. Have a great day.